Rated M for mature.
Is there one single best gun in Zombie Army 4 that stands above them all? In this video, we'll try to find out, / bicker with each other until we're exhausted.
This is my rifle, this is my gun, this is for fighting, this is, well, actually, this one's also for fighting, come to think of it, because this is Zombie Army 4, for goodness sake. Have you seen how dangerous it is, like, everywhere? Walking around with 3 loaded active firearms is just common sense, and there are plenty to choose from, even more so now after 2 seasons of DLC supply drops. And every time you look at this screen in a game, even though you know games are finely balanced now and there's no such thing as a best gun, you still ask yourself, well, which is the best gun though? And after we've played through enough to get a bit of ZA4 expertise, we probably all have an answer to that too. That's certainly true here on the channel, where Ellen, Gareth and I all have clear and distinct ideas about weapon supremacy in primary, secondary and pistol slots. I'll go first because mine are correct, and then you can hear whatever builds the other two come out with if you like, but don't feel like you have to. Before I get to my picks, please subscribe to us here on the channel for new videos every week, and bosh the notification bell to make sure you don't miss our stuff when it drops. Okay, roll tape.
Stupid zombies.
You can look at those bar charts all you like, carefully considering the trade-off between range, power, accuracy and reload time, but I'd like to present to you a different and incontrovertible way of thinking that will change your Zombie Army 4 experience profoundly, and for the better. For the purposes of this thought experiment, let go of everything you already know about the rifles in this game, the mighty thwack of the Mosin Nagant, the upgrade trees, the explosive attachments, all of it, and think of it this way. Are you doing more damage when you're shooting or not shooting? Now, how many of you said shooting? Yes, good, few hands up there. The correct answer was shooting, and that means using this brave new way of looking at Zombie Army 4, reloading time is the most important variable in the entire game, possibly in the entire world. That's why my rifle of choice is the M1 carbine. First off, that reload speed, but also when you fully upgrade it, its mag size is 30, which is just silly really, and means you can lay down the hurt for absolutely ages without reaching into your pocket for the next magazine. Some people are a bit sniffy about it being a semi-auto sniper and the fact that the Gareth also maxes out at 30 shots per mag, but this one's also modified to do flame damage, which is just nice, isn't it?
I'm not even close to finished.
I like to pair that with an FG42 in the secondary slot. When you first start using it, reloading is actually a bit of a pain because it's an automatic rifle with just 10 bullets per mag. But spend a bit of time with it strolling down the upgrade path, and before long it becomes a really high-powered number 2 slot option with 30 bullets that just mulches crowds. Disgusting, really. To finish, well, I'm sorely tempted by the new Polizei Pistola for its excellent sound and Bond movie looks, but being a man of very silly tastes, I just can't look past the shotgun pistol in this toy gun skin. Yes, it sort of goes against the maximum clip size thing that I've propped this entire entry against, but look at it. Imagine being a zombie and getting killed by this thing. Demeaning. Plus, I've got 2 weapons with enormous clips in them already, so I can afford to tap 3 and fire off 2 incredibly high-powered close-range shots when I need to. And those, dear viewer, are the correct choices. The best guns in the game. But apparently Gareth and Ellen want to argue with me because of course they do, so do me a favour and humour them, will you? Cheers. And I'll see you in the outro.
As much as it pains me to do this, I'm going to have to disagree with Phil about his rifle choice. The Gareth 43 is, for my money, the ultimate zombie slaughtering machine. But unlike those who clearly need an extra 10 shots in the magazine to hit their targets, I prefer to use the full auto modification. That's where you can unleash a flurry of lead at the never-ending horde with no recoil slowing down your efficiency. This combined with a fully upgraded electrified barrel means you are virtually unstoppable against your enemies. Just look at the way their heads pop. And who doesn't love how it looks with the black ice skin, I ask you? With this rifle, your success at killing zombies has never been more, well, automatic. Now to move out of Phil's shadow for a moment. Whilst a solid rifle is a player's best friend in Zombie Army 4, your choice of secondary weapon is perhaps even more important. This is because usually when facing off against an aggressive horde or two, there comes a time when your primary weapon has been spent, and when that happens, you had better have a decent secondary at the ready. This is where my choice of the MP44 comes in. It oozes control, it has explosive rounds, it can even carry a whopping 45 bullet magazine, and to top it all off, it looks amazing in the toxic skin. If you want an assault rifle that gives you balance, decent rate of fire, and the option to have your rounds explode enemies on contact, then you can do no better, in my opinion, than the MP44. Plus, if you're stylish like me and choose the toxic skin, you will have a permanently glowing nightlight on your back. Ooh, flashy. Now, unlike some on this channel, I have a sense of taste when it comes to picking a weapon and skin. I mean, toy gun, Phil, really? That's why I simply had to include the new Polizeipistola in my arsenal. If you want to defeat the forces of Hitler's undead army but want to add a little style to your playthrough, then you can't go wrong with this pistol. Aside from the sleek super spy look, this handy little handgun actually packs quite the wallop. For modifications, you can unlock super headshot rounds, which will obliterate zombie brains, but do next to no damage should you miss. If that sounds challenging, just ask yourself, how often did James Bond miss? And if accuracy is your thing, then why not combine your newly powered ammunition with a new grip, specifically the crit grip, which will increase your critical hit chance. And then there's a modifier that can increase your ammo attachment so that the next time you want to electrify your enemies, you will definitely leave them shaken and stirred. Over to you, Ellen.
So, the first bear opted for ammo capacity above all else. The second bear chose some good guns, I'll give him that, but for somewhat shallow reasons, I think you'll agree. So, if children's fairy tales are anything to go by, I guess my loadout is going to be just right. Goldilocks was a big fan of combat shotguns, wasn't she? Now, my perfect loadout. I'm counting on Phil making good on his promise to skip right to the end of this video, not even listening to what Gareth and I have to say, so that I can admit that my original rifle of choice was also the M1 carbine. Fast reload, easy to use, get some divine rounds in that bad boy, and taking down zombies is a breeze. So what have I chosen instead, I hear you ask? Another semi-automatic with a quick reload speed? Something lightweight, easy to use? No. Much like my teenage years when I dyed my hair purple and cut holes in my skinny jeans, I've decided to rebel. In this instance, however, rebelling looks a lot less like a patchy dye job and a lot more like a Lee Enfield No. 4. This bolt-action rifle is powerful, sure, but initially has a painfully slow reload and rate of fire. Spend some time getting acquainted with old Lee, however, an extended magazine here, some super headshot rounds there, and you'll end up with an insanely powerful and accurate weapon, no ammonia in sight.
Looks like my training is paying off.
For my secondary, I've simply chosen to go where the numbers take me. Like Gareth, I am partial to an MP44. It would make a nice counterbalance to my Lee Enfield too, but after finishing a level with an accuracy rating of 60%, I decided to go where the odds were in my favour. With the trench gun, my overall accuracy never dips below 95%. It's the perfect middle ground where high damage meets fast reload. Pop on an electric bayonet, the toxic skin, and a little ghosty charm for good measure, and watch your accuracy skyrocket and zombie heads roll. Having to pick your favourite pistol is a bit like having to pick your favourite garage to tow your car. I mean, how am I supposed to get excited about it? It's a last resort, only to be used in an emergency. No one wakes up one morning and thinks, ooh, can't wait to get my car towed. It's the perfect weather for it. I hope Dave's on shift today. I think this analogy has gone away from me a bit, but if I'm equipping my pistol, I'm probably in a bind. So I want something with decent damage, perhaps some explosive rounds to help clear the way. Can you see where I'm going with this? To round off my perfect Zombie Army 4 loadout, I'm going to pick the Webley, another gun that, when upgraded, packs a real punch. It's also another weapon that makes headshots pretty satisfying, which is what this is all really about, isn't it?
Ah, you're back. What did the other two pick? Both chatting some absolute breeze, I bet. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed the video and maybe got a few ideas about new loadouts to try for yourself. If you did, hit the like button since that really helps us out, and once again, subscribe for new videos every week. Until next time, what is your favourite garage for getting your car towed anyway?